Okay. Let's see. Okay, so I believe we are live now. Please let me know if the sound and everything else is working at the moment. I have a slight delay with the live stream, so yeah. Okay, we are live. We are live. Okay. Hello, everyone. I feel that some people are still joining in. Let's hope that the internet gods are in my favor and don't mess up the live stream like last time. It's been a while. I see ML here. Hello. It's been a while since we last talked. I haven't been that active in the comments, so that's another thing to address. But I will be replying to everyone else that has left comments in some of the videos. Which I have yet to check. I have tons of comments there, so I will be addressing those in due time. So, welcome to everyone. We are here to celebrate the 15th anniversary of the Hand That Feeds HQ, which it's mind-blowing, guys. It's mind-blowing. Even yesterday I was talking with a friend and saying this is really, really crazy to be here and doing this for almost half of my age, which is crazy. Hello, Grace. Thankfully, the internet is okay right now. Let's hope it continues so. Fingers crossed. The live stream won't be too long to avoid that problem with the buffering that we had last time. But I can go over time for 30 minutes if there are any questions and anything else. I do have some comments that some people left here. Probably they won't be joining live, so they will check these on VOD, and I will be addressing those in a couple of minutes. So, how are you guys? It's been a while since I last talked with you. I feel that I'm out of practice because last time that I actually held a live stream was in December for the monthly review episode, which has been a while. And since then, I have, of course, been creating video content here and there, but I haven't been too on here on the channel as I would love to. But it is good to see you here. I see you, ML, I see you, Grace. And I've seen Unwelcome also in the comments a couple of days ago. So, yeah. Hello. This is going to be awkward for me, but yeah. So yeah, let's of course make the introduction. Welcome to SEIYUU Lounge. I'm your host Vanessa. I have been the host for 5 years here on the channel. The podcast SEIYUU Lounge is 5 years old today, not necessarily today, this month. So it's quite amazing. The Hand That Feeds HQ is 15 years old, which is a teenager, a really problematic teenager right now. So yeah. This is really, really awesome to see that after so long, so many people are still here. So this is going to be a chill live stream. I didn't even prepare anything. So this time around, I don't have anything prepared. One thing that I can share with you. Yesterday I was video editing one of the 10th anniversary for the 2D music projects that are celebrating their 10th anniversary this year. I'm preparing and editing the feature for Dear Vocalist. It is turning out so good. So good. I don't know if you guys have watched the feature that I created for Soma Saito's Fictions. That one that I talked about all the CDs up until now. It's going to be in the same style. And I'm really proud of what we have there. For the very first time, I have a teleprompter. So please, guys, I hope you enjoy because that's really professional of me. It has a teleprompter. And I really like how it turned out. I'm still editing. Yesterday I went through the rough cut of the video, and today after the live stream, I'm going to go over that video and really develop more of that and to bring it potentially within this weekend. But if it takes longer, I hope that the video is really well made. So if it needs to take longer, I will bring it next week. For sure. This one, I'm not going to miss the deadline because I'm working on it and I was so excited about it yesterday while I was working on it. So I hope you guys are excited as I am about it because I really wanted with those 10th anniversary features to create something that will make newcomers look at it and think, wow, these projects are actually pretty good. I'm going to check that out. So I tried to make it as summarizingly interesting as possible and not too boring for people that are already fans, but make it easy to understand for newcomers. So I'm working on that and I'm quite excited about that. That's the big thing that I'm excited about lately. Also, I've been back to reviewing music. I have tons of reviews on my end. I will start bringing those to the website soonish. First, I need to wrap up the feature that I'm working now on, the 10th anniversary for the vocalist. Then I'm going to go through all the other projects that are 10 years old this year. And finally, I have the monthly review episodes on schedule. Finally. So that's something that is rare of me this year. I haven't been that present, but I hope to become more present around the later half of this year. Hopefully things get a bit easier on my end so that I can be here more frequently. So yeah, let's go through the questions. Also, don't be shy. You can leave any questions in the chat, and I will be addressing those. Of course, I'm going through some of the questions that I received in the survey. There were a couple of questions, so I'm going to address some of those. So I believe we can go to the first question and to start the episode really well. So, first question is from Regina, or Salty Reggie. It's been a while since I've seen Salty Reggie around here, so welcome back. And Salty Reggie has a dual question. The first one is, which 2D franchise do you think has the best vocals? Personally, I am tossing up between Cranv and Aopella. Now, this is curious because this is a loaded question. It is really difficult to say which 2D music franchise has the best vocals. Are we going by the technique? If we are going by the technique alone, that's tricky. By the technique alone, I feel it is it is almost a tie between Hanadol and I'm going to say Idolish 7. Because of the sheer raw quality of some of the SEIYUU there. I'm not going by the quality of the groups, but the quality overall of all the voice actors there. Because there are some voice actors that are better than others, we all know that. And there are others that are improving over time. And if I'm going to say that, when it comes to groups, or let's say, when it comes to overall enjoyment, and when it comes to they really sound amazing, I would say Aopella, the franchise itself, without any music whatsoever, they are amazing, unbelievable. But if you go SEIYUU by SEIYUU, you will see that some of those are not as good as the others. So Aopella is a really good franchise, but I wouldn't say everyone there is actually unbelievably good. Cranv has the same thing. They sound amazing as a whole, but if you put some of the SEIYUU individually, they may not be as top tier as some of the other singers within that franchise itself. I'm going to say, for example, very few singers in Cranv, just the group, not even the Versus Ambivalence franchise, just in Cranv, very few singers within that group are on par with the quality that Tasuku Hatanaka and Makoto Furukawa have. So that's a bit difficult to really weigh in that. So I feel that although Cranv and Aopella, or let's say Versus Ambivalence and the Aopella franchises are really good as a whole, I feel that you will enjoy everything that they put out. There are still some SEIYUU that have some hiccups when it comes to the quality, so I wouldn't say they have the best vocals. Aopella has the best performance-wise, I would say, because acapella is on a different level, so I'm not even going to discuss that. But if you go individually, some of the SEIYUU are not necessarily that good. They are really good in what they are doing in their respective positions within those groups, which is something that people don't value usually, but I value a whole lot, is that sometimes a singer is not necessarily that good by themselves, but if they are really good at one thing and that thing plays a massive role in a performance, that group as a whole will sound amazing. And that's what you can get in Aopella. Everyone has their role, everyone sounds amazing. In Cranv, it's almost the same. They kind of tend to balance themselves out. There are some singers, of course, that are not as good as the others. There are some that are obvious, not on the same level as some of the best singers in Crave. But still, you have, when you listen to the group as a whole, they sound so on level. They sound unbelievably harmonious, which is amazing. But I feel that when it comes to sheer raw quality, the Hanadol franchise has more quality on the vocal end. If you see some of the best singers among male SEIYUU are in that project. Same thing for Idolish 7. It's a no-brainer here when it comes to individual quality of some of the singers. So I would say when it comes to the best vocals, I would put on top Hanadol. The Hanadol franchise has the best vocals. Then probably Idolish 7. Then Aupela. Probably Dear Vocalist, and then Versus Ambivalence. That would be my top 5, and then I would add Skipro because I love Skipro, but sometimes some of the singers are not that good. Sometimes there are groups in which you can notice that there are differences in the quality. That, not to say that that's a bad thing. I love to have that variety, but if you look at groups and projects in which you will understand that every single song is really, really good, Aupel is there, Hanadol is there. When it comes to the performances, I'm not talking about the music specifically, the vocals. So I would say, yeah, that's my top. I'm not going to reorder that top, otherwise I'm not going to leave this here. I see some comments here, and I'm going to pause this question here. ML says, surprisingly, I'm into all of the 10-year-old projects except Dear Vocalist. I just have a few songs. Will the video convince me? Well, ML, I'm trying to do that. I will say, if you like a project that goes outside of the norm and focuses a lot on mental health and addressing mental health in a really, I would say, they do that in a sensitive way. If you like to see that and you like to see character growth, like you see, for example, in Skipro, like you see, for example, in Idolish 7, in which the characters grow over time. Here, the characters also grow over CD seasons, and we are talking about 8 CDs, which is to say 10 years of music. And if you like that kind of thing, that will be a project for you. But then again, I need to also take into attention that maybe some types of rock music that are being addressed or explored in this project may not be your thing, so it will be a matter of you checking the music. Some of the groups have music that are more easy to get into, others not necessarily. Some are quite aggressive, so some people might not like the aggressiveness on the vocal end or the guitars really screaming in the background, so it depends a lot on what you like. But from a project standpoint, if you like good storytelling and character-driven music with a focus on seeing the characters grow over time, Dear Vocalist is a really good project. I continue to say that this is an amazing project, and I say countless times in that video feature that it makes a whole lot of difference the way that they are approaching something that no other 2D music project approaches, which is mental health. And I feel that needs to be addressed, and especially in the otaku scene, that's not really that addressed, or usually it is mocked. And I feel that this project actually addresses that and makes people feel seen and makes people understand that some issues may be happening, or some people may be going through really hard stuff and they may not look like it. And you can get those tells and you can learn a little bit, even if things are not being directly explained to you throughout the drama CDs or the songs. So I believe maybe you will like this because you like storytelling driven 2D music projects from what I've gathered over the years. But I will let the feature actually try to convert you. Just a notion here, all these features for the 10th anniversary for the 2D music projects will be maximum 20 minutes long. I'm trying to make them between 10 and 20 minutes long. Some projects will be a challenge because they have too many groups. I'm still struggling with how to create the feature for side M, and it's going to be tricky. But yeah, I feel that maybe you will enjoy that. Grace says, one of the rare cases I don't see, you mentioned Skipro. Yeah, this was a rare case because I feel that Skipro excels when it comes to the continuity about the music. the vocals have evolved over time, but if you say that this project was always really good and people can check whichever song from the past up until now and they will find a ton of quality, I'm a bit shaky on that because, for example, Solids were not that good when they debuted. Only Growth were really amazing. And I feel that over time all groups became really impressive. And right now, I fully recommend the franchise. But back then, I feel it was quite niche, and I feel only us fans will appreciate how weird and how young and inexperienced some of the SEIYUU sounded when they started performing as part of those groups. So I wouldn't necessarily recommend Skipro right off the bat when it comes to the best vocals. I would say they have some of the best performances. But this is a really tricky question because they have so many amazing vocals that I feel in all these projects that I mentioned and some that I didn't even mention, that is sometimes a bit tricky to actually gauge that and say this is the project that has the best vocals. I feel that also this is something that is subjective. While I feel that some of these vocals are amazing, I've heard countless times people saying that they don't like Makoto Furukawa's voice, for example. So, for example, people listening to Cranv may not enjoy Cranv because Makoto Furukawa is there. But, for example, people that enjoy another voice actor will enjoy the group. So it will also depend on if you like the voices or not. I'm usually not that picky when it comes to enjoying the voices. So that's why I said that. But Tsuki Pro is there in the top 6, but I wouldn't say they are the project that has the best vocals. Right now, they have the most consistency, and all groups are sounding really amazing, but there's something about Aopella and the Hanadol franchise that goes beyond that. Aopella is not necessarily because of the sheer quality, it's because the SEIYUU really know what they are doing in their respective roles, and that plays a massive part because some of those SEIYUU there had solo careers and they flopped. Some of them are not really that amazing of a singer outside of this project, so it really depends on what they are doing. In this case, Aopella has a really role-centric project in which you can see people shining, doing what they do best, and that's how I feel that almost all To The Music projects would approach or should approach their lineups, is to put the specific SEIYUU or the right SEIYUU for every single role that they have. If we have someone that is belting, I want a SEIYUU that knows how to belt. I don't want to force a SEIYUU to belt when they are not comfortable with that. Same thing when they are going low. I want a SEIYUU that either has a low voice or is comfortable going into a 4 register. So I feel that it's something that other projects could learn a lot from. It's how Aopella is structured, having people with different roles within the groups. And also, Hanadol is on a different level. I've said this before, but Lolodi were goated completely. They are unbelievably amazing. And Anthos as well. So, yeah. Still, that's a really awesome top 6. And some of those projects I would rank in the same rank. I would say number 1 is shared between Aopella and Hanadol. Let's go back to the question because we have the second one. The second part of the question is also, who do you think is the best vocalist among male SEIYUU? I have always debated between either Yumo Uchida or Mamoru Miyano or Miu Irino. One thing that I like a whole lot, to see a mention of Miu Irino here. It's rare. I barely see people mentioning Miu Irino as a really good singer. One is undoubtedly one of the top 10 best singers among male SEIYUU. If people listen to his music with a lot of attention, they will notice that he's on a level that is crazy. I love his voice, first of all. I love how gentle he is with his performance. There's something about the way that he sings that is soothing, is really, really soothing for me. Although he has had this career with on and off situations in which his music is good, his music is not good, his music is back again to being good, Miu Irino really wobbles a lot in terms of the quality of his music, but when he actually hits that mark, his performances on the vocal end are usually amazing. The instrumentals usually waver a little bit in terms of the quality, but once again, he doesn't have that control over that because he's not writing his own music. But I feel he's one of the top 10 best singers among male SEIYUU easily. But then again, if you ask me to make a top 10, I will have problems. I will really struggle a lot to create that top 10. Yumo Uchida, I believe, and I've said this before, I think he's one of the best singers among male SEIYUU. This is a bit controversial, but I feel he is better singer than Mamoru Miyano at the moment. Mamoru Miyano is amazing at what he does, but Yu Mochida I feel is more versatile, which is something that when you go and see the technique and see when you are assessing if a singer is actually capable of doing a lot of things, I feel Yu Mochida is more versatile. Also because we have him with experience in various 2D music projects, it helps showcasing that versatility that Mamoru Miyano doesn't show as much because he's only doing Utapri and he's doing his solo career. So he doesn't have much versatility he can showcase beyond sometimes he releases an R&B song or a pop song or a rock song or a synthwave or orchestral, but those are rare occasions. I most frequently see Yu Mochida doing something outside of the scope of what he usually does, and that's why I feel that he's more a much better singer in comparison. Then again, both are top tier, so we are not discussing if they are really good singers. I'm just discussing the ranks that I'm going to add here. I would put Yu Mochida a bit above Mamoru Miyano at the moment, but in his prime, Mamoru Miyano was unbelievably amazing and top tier, real top tier. ML has a comment. I definitely need to check Miyurino's songs. I've only listened to the 2 songs he has in the Recollection cover series, and they both surprised me. You are in for a treat. I don't recall the name of the CD. Let me check here on Spotify right now. Because there's one CD that he released a couple of years back, I believe 3 or 4 years back, which is unbelievably good. Every single song there is amazing. Unbelievable, really. And the CD is... Let me check. Okay, Cheers. Cheers was released in 2021. You can find that on Spotify. I believe you can see that on my phone, although the contrast is awful. Cheers is unbelievable. I feel that Twilight and Life are 2 of the best songs he has ever released, by far. And also Freedom is an amazing single. It was released when he returned from studying abroad. I fully recommend you to check that one. He's really, really stylish in the music. It has a sort of a chill dance vibe going on in there. I love a whole lot. And we have E equals MC Square, which is another really good album. And I would say, which was the other one that was amazing? Dare to Dream has a couple of good songs. Life is sort of solid. I would say, please listen to it. Cheers. I would fully recommend anyone trying to get into Miyurino to check Cheers, because that's the chillest, most mature take on pop music that I've ever heard by a male SEIYUU artist. It's unbelievably good. And Twilight has been one of the songs that I've listened to on repeat when I want to relax, because that song is unbelievably chill. Really, it's a full recommendation from me when it comes to Miyurino. Cheers is an amazing CD. So yeah, when we are debating here, Yu Mochida, Mamoru Miyano, or Miyurino, I feel all of them are within the top 10 best singers among male SEIYUU, no doubt. I'm not going to discuss that. But the best singer among male SEIYUU is Toshiyuki Toyonaga. I'm not going to discuss that. That's an obvious one. If you listen to him in the 12 plus 2D music projects he's a part of, the quality that he has is unbelievable. I'm going to go here and spoil a little bit the next episodes of the podcast, because I bring my friend Kotaro to listen to SEIYUU music for the very first time. You guys are going to love this one, because the next episode is him discovering Toshiyuki Toyonaga and Soma Saito, and he was shocked with a couple of things. But when you go and listen to Toshiyuki Toyonaga, you'll have that experience tied up with the full-on control over his vocals. You can tell when he's singing that he knows exactly what to do with his voice. There are no doubts whatsoever. You give him a mic, he starts singing perfectly, pitch perfect. He doesn't need even to warm up his voice. He's pitch perfect right off the bat. That's something that very few singers can do. Then we have the fact that he can sing as a solo artist, he can rap with Cosmes, he can do it all in B Project with Thrive. He does a little bit of everything. He impresses with Soara. there's a ton of versatility when it comes to, if you go and analyze his vocals closely, there's something about the way he sings and the way he actually tackles every single music genre that is so unique and shows so much maturity and confidence, and also a ton of technique there. And I feel that whichever music genre you throw at him, and whichever way or different technique that you require of him to sing with, he can nail it all. He can sing really clear, he can actually go really rough with erosion, he can actually rap with cosmes, he can actually do those cheeky, sort of playful, sexy songs with Thrive. He can do a little bit of everything. And I feel that when it comes to versatility, control of his tenor range, how wide his tenor range is, how we can go to fa baritone without any problem, is really impressive. And this is something that you are going to notice in the next episode of the podcast when Kotaro is in, and we are talking about Toshiki Toyonaga. There are some quirks to the way he sings and actually approaches the Japanese language that only someone who really knows how to sing can do. We are going to talk about that in more detail. That was the very first time that I actually talked about that, so it's going to be really interesting to dive into those little details of the Japanese language and how he actually plays around with that to actually get the sounds and the performances and the emotions that he wants to convey in the way that he wants to convey. It's really impressive what he does on the vocal end. I will add him and sharing the top, and you guys already know, I usually say this, he shares the top tier with Soma Saito. He has been impressive, extremely talented. I feel he's a true chameleon when it comes to the voice itself, because while Toshiki Toyonaga can be a chameleon of music genres, his voice usually sounds almost the same. Although Goshi sounds a bit rougher, usually every single other character sounds almost the same. It's Toshiki Toyonaga performing as a character. He usually doesn't change too much the voice tone, but he can adapt like a chameleon to different music genres, different techniques that are required of him. Soma Saito is a bit different. He has all of that, and also he can change his voice to a point in which he is unrecognizable in some songs. I keep on saying, with Medicode, he's unrecognizable. Whenever I showcase Gabby, no one can pinpoint it is Soma Saito. So this is the thing that I was talking about the versatility and the uniqueness. Of course, one thing is to mimic others and sounding completely different. Another is to have that as well as a really strong control over your vocals. At the same time, have tons of technique, go really high. Fake Flowers by Soma Saito continues to be one of the songs with the highest vocal register I've ever heard a male SEIYUU ever tackle. It's crazy. I know that Toshiki Toyonaga can actually tap into that because it is an F5. He can go to the F5 scale, so that's not a problem. He can reach that note. But there are other singers among male SEIYUU that I don't know if they have that scale to actually get there. Probably Yumochida. Probably with some struggle, Mamoru Miyano, because his voice is a tad lower in comparison. But I feel that when it comes to vocal range, he's up there. When it comes to his technique, he has improved a whole lot. He didn't have a vibrato. His vibrato is kind of wobbly and kind of gimmicky in the sense that he doesn't have a vibrato. Same thing for Toshiki Toyonaga. He doesn't have a vibrato. But it's kind of gimmicky how Soma Saito gets to that vibrato. Because you can do that by wobbling your voice when you are talking. You can actually tap your throat. You can actually bob your head. There are a couple of ways to mimic and pretend you have vibrato when you don't have. There are a couple of singers that bob their head to enhance the vibrato or to mimic a vibrato. I'm not going to say who, but Soma Saito is obviously one of those because he doesn't have a vibrato whatsoever. But he has been trying to perfect that technique, which is another thing that he brings to his arsenal. But when it comes to the falsetto, he's up there with Toshiki Toyonaga, Yumochida, Mamoru Miyano, Shota Woi. It's crazy. And now we even have Makoto Furukawa doing and performing notes that high and going for that falsetto, which, believe me, a couple of years ago I would never say Makoto Furukawa performing high notes, but he actually does right now, so I'm not complaining, I want more of that. But yeah, it's really tough to actually get there, but I feel that my top two or my joint top 1 is Toshiyuki Toyonaga and Soma Saito. And then we have Yomochida, Makoto Furukawa. I would add who next? Shota Woi he has an unbelievable voice. Mamoru Miyano and Yuirino. And I'm missing someone. Well, to create that top 10, that would be tricky. But I feel that would be amazing. Still, we have almost 20, 30, I would say 30 SEIYUU that are unbelievably good, in case you guys haven't noticed. So I'm not going to complain there. We could actually make a top 30, and we still would have tons of SEIYUU to add to this list. So yeah, I feel that all the SEIYUU that we mentioned right now are valid within the top 10. I can understand why you went for Yumochida, Mamoru Miyano, and Miyurino Salty Reggie, because they almost have the same soothing vibe, and their high notes are really amazing. But if I'm going to be really nitpicky here and go through the technique, I'm actually going to dive into the really tricky stuff. That's Toshiyuki Toyonaga, and it's really Soma Saito right now. We don't know if any other SEIYUU is going to up their game and impress us in the next release. We don't know. Please surprise me. I want to be surprised. So yeah, thank you very much for that question. I'll keep on checking the chat in case you guys have questions, but I'm going to keep on answering your questions, and let's go to the next one. So we have here a question by Mew. Mew says, have you ever watched any SEIYUU in live or planning to, and who? That's a good thing. So last year in October, Soma Saito held a live show in Osaka. I was going to go to that show until I wasn't. I lost my job after returning from vacation in September, and all of a sudden I didn't have the money to go to Japan and go to the live show, so I had to cancel those plans. But I was going to attend the live show in Osaka, which was later on released in Blu-ray and DVD. So that's a missed opportunity that I had, which is a pity. But a funny thing, in 2019, and this is a story I believe I never told you, in 2019 I went to Japan for the very first time. It's not a matter of watching a live show or attending a SEIYUU event. I actually was in the same place as a SEIYUU. So in 2019 I went to Japan, and I stayed in Osaka, and then I visited Kyoto, and then I went to Tokyo to wrap up my trip there in Tokyo, and then come back to Portugal. While I was in Tokyo, it was kind of interesting because I was there. I actually got influenza in the second or third day that I was there. There was a typhoon. It was crazy. It was almost late September, and it was crazy. And in that day, I was really feverish and really tired. And I decided, well, I'm not going to go and sightsee because I've already sightseen everything and all the neighborhoods in Japan, in Tokyo, let's say. So let's hop on the train, or the subway in this case, and let's go to Shinjuku, because I saw that the first cover of a magazine featuring Yoshiki Nakajima has dropped. I believe it was Voice New Type. It was Yoshiki Nakajima's very first cover on a magazine. So I was really excited. I wanted to get that cover, and I was in Japan, so I could get that cover. So I hopped on the subway. I went to the subway. I took my seat, and I was masked because I was coughing a lot. And then I looked at the person sitting across from me with the bag on their knees and masked as well, hair all dropping down. And then I look into the person's eyes, and I was like, well, let's see. Since I'm here and I'm actually doing human observation, basically, I was watching people and see how they work and everything else. It was kind of fascinating. My eyes met that person's, and it was Yuya Hirose. Masked and going to Shinjuku as well, because we dropped in the same station. In case you guys don't know, in Shinjuku there are a couple of anime recording studios, and it's almost an anime centric side of town. There's a part that is not the main neighborhood. So I actually spent some of the trip in the subway with Yuya Hirose. I didn't talk with him. I didn't address him. I was really shy and I didn't even look into his eyes because I was really worried that he would feel a bit uncomfortable because of that. So I avoided. But the first time that I met his eyes, yeah, it was Yuya Hirose, no question whatsoever. And when he got up and he spoke to a lady that was next to him, it was his voice. So I actually tried to not address him and anything else, but he was really staring at me when I lifted basically my head to see the next station. They were saying Mamonaku Shinjuku Eki, and I was really okay. It's my stop. I'm going to stop here in Shinjuku, and he was staring at me like this. So that was crazy. That was a crazy story. Still to this day, that's the only SEIYUU I have ever seen next to me. He's quite tall in comparison to me, but I'm not really that tall to begin with. So yeah, in comparison, he's quite tall. But I didn't address him, and we only made eye contact twice. So yeah, that's the closest that I got to a SEIYUU. I haven't been to any SEIYUU events because unfortunately that was the case with Soma Saito's live show. I couldn't go, and the first time that I was in Japan, it was September 2019. I arrived one day after the Dameraji recording in Osaka, I feel, so I completely missed that as well. So yeah, I've been missing almost everything in terms of SEIYUU events whenever I'm there, but I only went there twice, and last time I was not really focused on going to anything SEIYUU related. I was more focused on going sightseeing and everything else in the countryside. So, but that's the story that I have here. I've never been to a SEIYUU event. I would love to go to a Mamoru Miyano live show. I feel it's going to be a blast to go. And if he ever comes to Europe, I would go there in a heartbeat, whichever stop would be within Europe, because I want to at least experience a live show by a SEIYUU artist, and especially one with as much experience as Mamoru Miyano has, because it can really entertain a person. And I feel that one of the big reasons people go to live shows is to be entertained. The other one is to actually let go of their stress and everything else and have fun for 1 hour, 2 hours, however long it is a live show. So I feel that a Mamoru Miyano live show would be awesome to go to. I would love as well to, of course, go to a Soma Saito live show, a Yumuchi live show. I would love to see Makoto Furukawa live, and especially if he brought his jazz band with him. When it comes to the rest, I feel that Sir Vanity would be awesome to see live. I like rock music. They have a really stylish sound. I feel it would be awesome to actually attend a show like that. So yeah, I feel these, and some SEIYUU may be even escaping me right now. For example, I went to the live. It was not necessarily the live event, but I watched the live stream in Hong Kong. They were doing the for Idolish 7 reunion. I went to the first day of they were screening that in theaters or cinemas in all across Asia. And I was working in Macau, so I went to Hong Kong, and I went there and I watched for the very first time a live show with SEIYUU live, but I was not there in Japan. I was watching from Hong Kong, which is slightly different. So those are the big memories that I have when it comes to SEIYUU. For example, I know that I watched the live reunion live, and I know that Toshiki Masuda missed the very first 2 notes into the very first song that Idolish 7 sang, but in the live Blu-ray or DVD, they edited that part and he's singing like an angel. So I know how it went, and I know how it ended up edited in the final version. But yeah, I do remember that. Let's see, comments here. ML says, so cool. I bet I'd also not say a word if that happened to me. Yeah, one thing that I worry a lot is that if I was in their place, would I like someone to approach me? I'm going to work. I was really thinking that because SEIYUU usually at 2-3 p.m. are going to recordings for anime series, same thing as late into the night and really early into the morning. So I felt, why am I even going to address him? first of all, he doesn't know me. Second of all, Japanese people usually don't address famous people, and then that would be completely uncomfortable for him and really awkward for me. I'm really shy, so I usually don't approach people. Even my friends, if I see them on the street, only if they look at me will I approach them. So I'm really that shy. So I actually got to be in his presence, let's say. And there's nothing more to say there because it was really quiet. Everyone was quiet inside of the subway. And we dropped in the same station. He went to a different street than mine because I was going to Kabukicho. And he was not going to Kabukicho. I was going to the Animate in Kabukicho, which is a bit further away from the studios, which they are to the north, I feel. So yeah, that was a really nice thing. Last time I was in Omotesando, and I was thinking, well, Toshiki Masuda usually goes around here, so maybe we can come across now. But still, I was not really aiming to find anyone. I would love to see someone. If I cannot attend live shows, at least to find them on the streets. But Tokyo is massive. We don't even know the scale until we are there, and then we understand that, yeah, there's a lot of people. There's no way I can even find a SEIYUU in the middle of this of it all. It is crazy. But for example, I went to Animate in Shibuya, and they had a show being broadcast at Animate with Shotawoi, and I was really happy that I was in the store and I was listening to Shotawoi while I was really buying stuff, which was really awesome. So that's another thing. So yeah, I would love to see SEIYUU live, but I'm really aware that I live in Portugal. This side of Europe usually doesn't have any kinds of events. We have Japan-centric events and anime-centric events. We also have Comic-Con, but they never bring SEIYUU here. Or when they bring SEIYUU from the late 80s or early 90s. They don't bring the big ones right now. They bring the big ones, the nostalgic ones from the 80s and the 90s. So there's that sense of, yeah, everyone almost, I would say, the US gets all the really good cons. France also has really good cons, the UK as well, and we don't have that thing here. So unfortunately, we don't get to see SEIYUU often or at all. And when it comes to, for example, the live streams also don't broadcast to Portugal. They forget completely about this country. So yeah, we are at the tail of Europe, and we continue to be there. People don't remember about us, which is a pity. But yeah, thank you very much for the question, and you. And of course, sorry that I didn't have anything interesting to tell you beyond that story with Yuya Hirose, which is not really a story because we didn't speak to each other. I just saw him, and he actually stared at me for a couple of seconds. I thought that he looked a bit worried that I was going to address him, and I didn't address him. So yeah. Now, we have, and I believe we are already 15 minutes before the end of the episode. So if you guys have any questions, please drop those in the comments section. I'm going to address those questions if you want to. Otherwise, I'm going to go to the next two comments, which are also from Salty Reggie and Miu. And we will wrap up this episode because we don't want to drag people here too long. I'm kind of happy that the internet has yet to falter, so let's keep it at that. I don't want the episode to drop or to have any kinds of hiccups. But if you have any questions, any comments, please feel free to drop those below. I can extend the episode for another 15 to 30 minutes if you have any questions. Otherwise, I will wrap it up at the hour. So let's see. For me, it will be 3 p.m. I don't know about you. Some of you may be really early in the morning. Some of you may be really late in the evening, probably. So let's go to the next one as I wait for your questions and comments, if you have any. But don't feel pressured to actually share anything if you don't want to. So we have here a comment by Regina, or Salty Reggie, and Regina says, "It has been a while since I have left a comment, but I just wanted to say how grateful I am for you and the Handed Feeds HQ. I have discovered so many new projects because of you, as well as so many new SEIYUU artists. Whenever I want to listen to some new SEIYUU artists or explore new projects, I always head to the hand at THTFHQ. Stumbling across your review of Four Leaf Ring in 2020 was the best thing I have ever done, as from then on, I developed an appreciation for the SEIYUUs behind each character. Thank you for all you do. So, I would say thank you so much for actually finding the hand that feeds HQ, because it's not really easy to find. The name of the website doesn't have anything to do with SEIYUU. This was the original name of my blog, a personal blog in which I reviewed music from anywhere, and I didn't change it, I kept it. So thank you very much for actually coming across the website and coming across the review, and then trusting what I bring to the website. Although this year I haven't been as active as I wanted to, I've been busy with several projects. I've already mentioned that in the monthly review episode. I've debuted as an author, so I have been writing, and that takes a lot of time off of me. And also I have been freelancing, so that also takes a lot of time off of me that I usually used when I was here working almost full-time at the hand that feeds HQ, even if this is a hobby. But yeah, I haven't had that much time to update the news. Please know that the news are going to start being updated in September. This and the next one is going to be more about the reviews. I'm working through all the songs that I need to review this month. I have already reviewed a couple of CDs from this month, so the monthly review episode of August is going to drop, let's say, in the first week of September, with fresh impressions about the music that dropped, because finally I'm on time. Let's say, yeah, thanks for actually coming across. And I will say this to everyone that actually is here in the live stream and it will be watching this episode when it is already available on VOD, is a big thank you for coming across the hand at Fizz HQ and dedicating some of your precious time to being here with me and geeking about male SEIYUU artists and having fun with me, because I geek a lot, but I geek a lot about these alone, and having you around is really fun and really awesome. Of course, there has been hiccups here and there and some situations that I would have loved would never have happened to me while working here at the hand at Fizz HQ. Some really awful stuff that was done to me, but still, we grow from those experiences and we continue to do our thing, and I'm doing my thing and having a ton of fun, which is good. The thing that I wanted to test as well with stopping creating content for the hand at Fizz HQ for a couple of months was to see if I still had that passion and that love for reviewing music as I had at the start, because I was feeling a bit exhausted about it. But right now I feel that, yeah, I still have the same love. I was just extremely exhausted in general because of work and all those projects that I have. So that's the thing. So yeah, thank you very much, Salty Reggie, for the comment. I've seen you around here for a couple of years. It's always awesome to find you in the comments and whenever you participate, and everyone else that participates as well. I already know some of you by name. Whenever I see you, I already get a really a big smirk on my face whenever I see you, because I know that these are, let's say, sort of my people, because I've seen you around for so long. We have talked to each other around here. It's kind of awesome. So I feel that I'm not here alone rambling about Skip Row, Somasaito, and whatever things come to my mind, like Makoto Furukawa's Catch Me If You Can, because I've been crazy about it. So yeah, it's really awesome to have you around in general. I'm not now saying about a specific person, but I would say about everyone that actually takes some time to watch the episodes, to read the reviews, to share the content. It really helps a lot, and over 15 years, that has helped a lot solidify this website as a place that people can trust when it comes to reviews and when it comes to, let's say, the news reporting, although I have been behind schedule about that. But it's really awesome to see that you trust these, and that the effort that I'm putting on delivering things that are transparent and accurate really actually comes through, and you actually want to engage with the content because of that. So I really appreciate that, so thank you very much. And also, we have a comment by Mew, Mew says, also congrats in the 15 years. I started to watch only in the last years, so I'm kind of new, but I really love your videos. Thank you very much, Mew. I've seen you also around for a while. Also, thank you for coming across the channel. Thank you for coming across the website as well, and for watching the videos here. I have tons of awesome ideas for videos that I started drafting in January when I had some free time, but then ended up not developing those because I got really busy. But for example, you are going to see the quality that I'm going to bring with the Dear Vocalist 10th anniversary feature, and you will understand what I mean by the video content that I want to bring here to the channel. And if I had more free time, I would bring that level of quality all the time. The problem is the quality takes a lot of time. For example, that episode that you are going to check either this weekend or next weekend is about the Dear Vocalist franchise, their 10th anniversary, the project itself. I took 1 hour to record it. The video is 20 minutes long now that I've made the rough cut. There are so many cuts in which I messed up words, messed up pronunciations. I even couldn't keep up with the teleprompter, which was in a new thing. I could not keep with the teleprompter, and I usually speak quite fast, but that was too fast for me. But yeah, it took 1 hour to record. It actually took another hour to edit. The video is now 20 minutes, the rough cut. It may even drop to 15. I don't know if I'm going to make any other cuts. And then I'm going to add all the really nitty-gritty, awesome details that people want to see to make the video dynamic and to have things happening in the screen. That takes a while. And if I had the time, I would create those features on the regular. Unfortunately, I can only make those as specials right now. But you will see the quality that I mean when you see that feature. I'm really proud of that. I've already, between the rough cuts, I've already watched that feature 2 or 3 times. I've already memorized the script, which is crazy. But yeah, that's really, really awesome that I have in there in terms of the quality of the videos. I feel that they are going to improve. I feel that if I had the time, I would create really awesome scripts to actually cover some projects or cover some SEIYUU and create those features. I really have tons of ideas. I don't have the time, which is the problem. I would love to have the time to actually dive into that and create the videos that I want when I want, because ideas, I have plenty. Time, not so much. That's the problem. So yeah, I see that, and maybe the comments are not really updating for me, but there's no questions in the chat, so we are going to keep this episode lean and clean, which people, let's clap, because this is rare. We didn't have anything messing up this transmission. This live stream has been flawless for now. So I feel that we are close to wrapping up. I will bring a couple of words before we wrap up, but feel free to actually leave questions when the video drops. Leave the questions or comments below the video. I would love to read those, reply to you, and everything else that you may need. I'm, of course, as I said earlier before, I'm back reviewing music. The news on the website are going to start being updated starting in September. I am going to open the form for the review advent calendar by the end of September, so be on the lookout for that. I will let you know here in the community tab, as well as social media. A heads up on social media. Recently, I had a problem with SEMrush, which was the platform in which I scheduled the birthday posts and everything else. They completely messed up the platform for me. I had to cancel my subscription there. So I may stop posting content on Twitter or X in the near future. Maybe so a couple of updates here and there, but I will not be updating as much there because I need to manually go there to update stuff, because right now there's no software that updates content all over the place, which was something that I loved a couple of years back, in which I created a post and I hit share and it shared on Facebook, Twitter, and every single other place in which I was. But right now I need to manually go to every single place, and that's messed up. If you see anything out of character when it comes to the sharing. That's because I canceled that subscription, and it's messing up all the birthdays and everything else. I really don't understand what is going on there. But yeah, that's a big issue that happened recently. But that's something that will be sorted soon-ish. I already canceled the subscription, so I feel it will sort of normalize in a couple of weeks, days, let's say. So yeah, thank you very much for joining. I have tons of awesome things to do. These are 15 years of talking about male SEIYUU artists and 2D music, and I feel that I still have more 15 in me. Only time will tell if I will actually be around with this website for 30 years tops. But right now I'm having a ton of fun, and I'm back into my groove, which is a positive, and quite excited about what I have to check, since I missed a ton of music, and I missed a ton of new 2D music projects and everything else. So I'm kind of excited about that and diving into those things in due time, and actually take my time to review what I want to review, and not pressure myself to review everything, because I'm just one person, I cannot review everything. But I will try to bring the reviews more frequently to the website, and try to schedule a day in which I actually review music, and a day in which I actually schedule those reviews on the website, so that you guys can get the reviews on the regular. But please know that the website is going to start being updated with the reviews. One thing that is not going to return is those video features for Monday, the ones that were a sort of a recap of these are the cities that are going to drop every single week, because I took 1 hour to 1 or 2 hours to edit each episode, and some of those episodes were 1 or 2 minutes long maximum, which was too much effort for what we got in the end. So those are not going to return to the channel. I feel that not many people were really interested in that. Same thing on the website. I barely had anyone checking those articles. So that's something that, to be leaner and more present in the reviews and the podcasts and the videos, I had to cut. And it makes sense to cut it because I was not really having too much fun with that. And I'm really a fan of, if I'm not having fun with something, I stop doing something instead of making myself do that something, and people notice that I'm losing my love for that specific thing. So yeah, that's all the updates that I have here. Once again, thank you very much for being around. If you have been around for the 15 years, you are one of the OGs for this website, because I barely know anyone that has been around the website as long as I've been with the website or creating stuff for the website. So if you have been for 15 years, wow, that's impressive. You have tons of patience, and you may enjoy my content, which is a positive. If you have found the website or the podcast or the YouTube channel this year, last year, a couple of years ago, no problem. You are part of the journey, and that's what makes it beautiful. So thank you very much for being around and being awesome throughout. I like that the community around the THTFHQ is kind, is fun, is geeky. There are bad apples, but the bad apples are not part of this community, I've noticed. So I'm not worried about that, but you guys are amazing. You always come through. You always appear in the live streams. You always take some time to leave comments, to participate. It's really awesome. It's like having a group of friends that I've never met in real life, but you are on the other side of the screen, which is awesome. So yeah, thank you very much for being here for the 15th anniversary of the Hand That Feeds HQ and the 5th anniversary of this podcast, SEIYUU Lounge. For those of you that are listening to this episode of the podcast, it's going to drop a bit later on streaming platforms, because now I need to download this episode and then bring to the streaming platforms. But if you are catching this episode on VOD, thank you very much for joining and watching this episode. Leave your questions if you want to. Leave your comments if you want to. A like would be awesome, because it brings more people to enjoy the content and notice this small channel. And if you have yet to be subscribed, please subscribe, because it helps a ton. I still have that goal of being monetized, but we had an issue early in the year, in January. In case you don't know, Honeybee Black actually went to my channel and removed one of the videos, the one about dynamic chord. I lost a ton of hours. I lost a ton of views of that video, and right now the website, or let's say the YouTube channel, is struggling a little bit. because of that. But still, what can we do? I'm not going to address that matter too much because I know what is at the core of why they deleted my video. That's capitalism, so yeah. But I'm not going to dive much into that. But that almost took this channel down early in the year. That's why I also made that pause, because I was not thinking or feeling that positive about continuing to create content if I was going to be met by that type of behavior by the original creators when it comes to covering projects. But yeah, that was a bit of a hiccup that we had early in the year. First time in 5 years of this channel that happened, and first time in 15 years of the THTFHQ that I was addressed directly by a franchise, but not because they wanted me to cover the franchise. It was because they didn't want me to cover the franchise, which is crazy. So yeah, let me check. I have comments here by ML that said, because that was my main source of news for upcoming releases, but whatever gives you more free time is good. Yeah, apologies because I really couldn't keep up with that. I noticed that I was not keeping up with the releases themselves. I may bring the article to the website if I feel it makes sense, but the videos are not going to be brought into the channel because they take too long. I know that it is really fun to watch the videos and you guys think, yeah, it's a 30-second video, it's watched in a second, and it is done, but the work behind it's so much for what we have there. So yeah, I fell out of love of creating those videos, and I feel that energy is better spent in different things, and that those different things may be those big video features that are sort of documentaries, because this one for the Dear Vocalist franchise is a documentary. So it is really, really awesome. Grace, you have not a question, okay? Not a question, just a silly side story of me. But yesterday I just discovered Cash Komi and I was shocked. They're awesome. Oh boy! Welcome to enjoying Cash Komi. Cash Komi are amazing. Oh, I will never shut up about them. I hope you are having the time of your life with Cash Komi, because their music is really amazing. So yeah. I feel that you are enjoying it. I feel that we should get more Cash Komi music, but then again, I don't know if the radio show probably ended, and hence they haven't been releasing music. But then again, Marine Entertainment is a bit weird, and sometimes they release music, sometimes they don't release music. So I'm not really sure if Cash Komi are a thing still, but their last two albums are unbelievably good. I remember coming across them I believe it was by chance, because I was checking to the SEIYUU units for a feature about the SEIYUU units, and I, of course, had to cover Cash Komi, and I listened to the music, and wow, that's unbelievably good. That's some of the best rock songs I've ever heard. And let's say SEIYUU units usually don't take music that seriously, but in this case they were really amazing. So welcome, Grace, to Cash Komi. I hope you are enjoying them a whole lot. I kind of miss them, which is another thing. ML, okay, you didn't watch them. So you preferred the article on the web. Okay, so I feel that maybe the article will make more sense to come back. I feel that as soon as I start covering the news again, maybe the article can return, but the videos are not going to return. That's for sure. I decided that the videos are not going to return. The article is a bit easier to create. I just need to double check the information on the website, bring it to an article, and share it. So that may return. I'm not going to be 100% sure on these because it depends on my free time, but that may return. The videos will not. That's for certain. So yeah, thank you very much to everyone who came to this live stream and joined me today. This was a quieter one, but still no internet problems, so let's celebrate that. It's a really rare thing here. We didn't have any problems whatsoever. Last time, this was hiccuping like crazy, really, like crazy. ML, what you are saying. Apologies if you said it already. I had to go for 15 minutes. But do we know which reviews are coming other than Catch Me If You Can and Strict, obviously? Let me go to my iPad so that I can tell you which songs or which releases I reviewed recently so that you guys can get a really good idea of what I've reviewed recently. So let me double check and you guys are going to get these in real time. So what I reviewed was Yumochida, Heartache, Yumochida Singularist, Anthos, Species, Anthos, Echo, Idolish 7, Unfolding Harmony, Shotaro Morikubo, Breathing, Makoto Furukawa, Catch Me If You Can, Sir Vanity, Timeless, Shichiba, Streak, Illuvista, Night for 2, Illuvista, the newest single, Koi something something, Funfair, Best Member, Funfair's newest single as well, Erosion, Aim and Night, Muirinu, Who I Am, and Gakto Kajiwara, Junjo de Are. These are the songs or the CDs that I reviewed recently, and I have many more to come. So that's a lot that I have in store for you, and that will be dropping on the website as well. I also have that review of Triggers Toi, which has yet to be posted on the website. I believe I'm almost 1 year late for these, but I already covered that on the website, and I already covered that, let's say not the website, but I already covered that in a monthly review episode, so that's that. No problems, ML. I would love to have many more for you to actually check on the website, but I will be bringing tons of reviews. I don't want to spam anyone, but I feel that I'm going to drop almost all at the same time, maybe. I will let you know here on the community tab when the reviews are up on the website. But I feel that starting from the next week, you can comfortably start visiting the website again, and I'm going to start bringing new content there. I feel that's a bit slow there, but things are going to resume in a bit, and I have tons of reviews. I'm quite excited about what we have there, and there's even more music that I have to review because I got the singles. And I have yet to review those specific ones. I have tons of stuff to review from the Paradox Live franchise, for example. I have yet to review that. I have some singles from the Idolish 7 franchise to review as well. I'm curious about the recent releases by the B Project franchise. I want to dive into more songs by the Aopella franchise. I feel that this month we had a release. I have yet to check if that is available on streaming platforms to review. And also, there's a ton of stuff. We had a Sawara CD a couple of weeks ago as well. I want to dive into that. There's really a lot of things that I want to review. Not too much time available, but I'm going to review as soon as possible. Right now, the priority is wrapping up that Dear Vocalist franchise feature, either to drop tomorrow, let's say, almost at the same time as this live stream, or in the next week, almost at the same time as this live stream. So I'm trying to aim for that, maybe tomorrow, but if I want to bring more quality and I feel that the quality is a bit jiffy, I'm going to bring that specific video for next week. Reviews are going to drop on the website starting this weekend. I'm going to start with the really old ones that I have yet to share, and then I'm going to dive into these ones that I have here. For example, I haven't reviewed anything from the new groups or the new Versus Ambivalence season. I have yet to review. I've not checked anything. I know some of the series that are there, but I have yet to listen to the project and to see what they are doing for this second season, and I'm really curious. Oh, Grace, this is not to pressure you, but I think you will like two latest songs of Bad Skunk. Grace, I like Bad Skunk. So, I also have... oh my god. There's a ton of things that I need to do. If you actually saw my to review list that I have 60 CDs from 2023 that I didn't review. I have 40 CDs that I didn't review from 2024. And right now I have almost 30 or 40 CDs that I haven't reviewed so far in 2025. It's crazy. I will go through those in due time. I feel it's a matter of time until I get to Bad Skunk because I'm really excited about the project and the group itself. So that's something that I will maybe have hand in hand here with the Aopella franchise. I'm looking forward to those two franchises in specific because it's been a while since I listened to anything from them. But it's not no pressure. No, do not worry, because I'm putting pressure on myself right now. I look at that list and I see, wow, that's over 100 CDs that I have to review, or that I want to review. Because right now I'm being a bit more selective about what I listen and what I review. Still, that's a ton. So yeah. ML, you say, oh yeah, I talked a lot about Grey Sheep in the monthly review, but it was not in the section that did make into the video. Yeah, it didn't make into the video, and I saw your comment, and I got so excited about it. But I felt that yeah, I need to dive into that, but I have yet to dive into that. So I'm curious to see what they did, because Bad Skunk have had their highs and lows. Especially their first 2 CDs, but I'm really excited about what they are doing. Right now I've seen, and you mentioned ML, and I noticed that they now have sort of unique subgroups within the franchise. So one or two members will get together, 3 or 4 will get together for a song. So they are doing weird yet unique stuff, and I'm quite curious to see what they are doing there. So I read your comments. Although that part didn't make it to the episode, because I was not covering the music in the horizon or anything else. I saw your comments, so do not worry. I'm kind of excited, and whenever I see you guys talking about a specific project, I get all excited, because I don't want to miss that. I also want to join the fun, but right now I've been so busy that I really need to pace myself. But yeah, yeah, I'm prioritizing my health, really, because I'm dealing with the burnout right now due to work. I have tons of projects at the same time. It has been crazy. I want to do so much stuff, and I don't have enough time. But know that I'm reviewing music at my really leisure, and I will be bringing the reviews in due time. And the videos are continuing to drop, so do not worry. They are continuing to drop here on the channel. Reviews will follow. I'm going to bring these 10th anniversary features. So there's a ton of stuff to come, and believe me, it's not long until we have the review advent calendar episodes. So in a couple of months, we are every single day in December, we are covering a different song. So I'm quite excited for this year's edition, honestly. I don't know what to expect there. So yeah, Grace says adding Yuichiro Mihara to the line up added a lot of force. He has been singing amazingly since he joined Servanity. I've said this countless times before. Being around Yoshiki Nakajima was a good thing. It was a good thing. He has improved so much as a singer. I'm kind of excited to see what he's doing there. And now that you guys are getting all excited, I want to actually dive into that. You guys are making my day a bit difficult. I need to edit a video, guys. I need to edit a video, not listening to music. Kidding. Thank you very much for the suggestions, really, and for joining in the fun. I'm going to cut this episode short, I feel, and let's celebrate, because there were no hiccups with the internet this time around, and I believe next time, I hope that doesn't happen and we don't get any hiccups as well, because this was a really good time. Instead of having technical difficulties, we were here hanging out and having fun and everything else. So once again, a big thank you for being around for 15 years, or for the years that you have been around the THTFHQ. This is 15 years of me talking about male SEIYUU artists like a crazy person, hoping anyone listens and wants to join in the fun with me. So this has been quite fun. I've made a ton of friends along the way, and we have been really raving as fans about male SEIYUU artists and 2D groups in our really protective and really awesome corner of the internet. I feel this is the most awesome thing that we have here, is this small corner in the internet in which we are not judged. We are just having fun and talking about male SEIYUU music or 2D groups, and we don't have any fanatism or anything whatsoever. We just want to share love and appreciation, which is awesome. So I'm really happy that I ended up creating a place like this, and that the people that joined this place are actually in the same wavelength. So yeah, thank you very much for being around. These are 15 years of the THTFHQ. In the next 15 years, if we have a live stream, I will be really old, so be ready for that. So yeah, I'm already dreading that. But yeah, thank you so much for being around and for also checking the podcast, because the podcast is also 5 years old. I created the podcast during the pandemic, and look where it is right now. This is episode 264 according to my white screen there. So yeah, this is really, really awesome. Thank you very much for joining. Thank you very much for being around and for joining for this live stream. And I'll see you guys in a video next, which I hope will be that Dear Vocalist franchise video that I am editing right now. So I will be sharing a couple of previews in the community tab as soon as I drop from here and I open the Adobe Premiere to edit the video, because I'm working on really awesome stuff and it looks really awesome so far. So thank you very much for being around. Thank you very much for making this birthday really chill, no pressure, and just having a ton of fun here. And I hope to see you guys around in the comment section or in other live streams. I think that the end of the year monthly review episode is going to be a live stream as well. I enjoyed doing the live stream last year after Christmas, and maybe I will do that for the live stream. I will do that for the monthly review episode in December, quite probably, because that's a ton of work that I have around the time of the year, and the live stream really takes that work off of me because it's live. I cannot edit anything. If I say something that I don't or I shouldn't say, it's on the internet. If I say something that is wrong, well, it's in the internet, so I cannot edit it. So yeah, I was really stressed out today because I'm really out of practice when it comes to coming behind the camera. But you guys actually relaxed me, so thank you very much as well for doing so. I'm a bit shy when it comes to this stuff, and I get a bit worried if things work and everything else. So yeah, thank you very much for everything as well, Grace. Grace, ML, and everyone else who participated in this episode, Salty Reggie and Mew, and the regulars as well. Unwelcome, a shout out, because unwelcome usually is in the comments. So yeah, thank you very much for joining me or watching these on VOD, and I'll see you guys in another episode. I hope you guys had a ton of fun here, and I'll see you guys in the next one. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys soon.